All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I have been trying to learn those back-end software engineering concepts for a little while now. And one of the problems that I was realizing that I was running into was, okay, well, I can do certain tasks, right? Like I can respond to a client sending me a request from the server side. Okay, great, I can do that. I can interact with the database. I can do all of these things, right? Okay, great. But fundamentally, when I'm doing a personal project, I'm not going to know exactly, okay, well, I can accomplish a certain task, right? I can go and try to accomplish a task. And if that task succeeds, I give it a check mark and say, great, it's good. But is that the actual way I'm supposed to be doing it? Is that the scalable way? Is that the correct ordering and structuring of all of my projects? And I was just doing it randomly, very much so. And I was aware of that. And that's why I was like, I'm not sure what's going on. Or like at that point, okay, I was going and learning a ton of new material, and so it didn't really matter. Now I was thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, well, how can I kind of avoid this problem? And what I think I'm going to do is kind of change up my strategy a little bit. I don't know if this is going to be a viable path forward. Perhaps I start it and it's like, okay, this isn't working for me. We'll dynamically adapt if that's the case. But what I'm thinking is kind of like this is now I will go and try to watch some tutorials, okay? Take other people's code that works, that is structured in a better way. And then from that, I will try to learn and internalize number one, the concepts which are going on, and how a sustainable project is actually created. So, in that line, I was watching this video here. I can make this a little bit smaller. Okay, I was watching here. So here's his GitHub, but specifically it was this Telesco guy. So watching microservices, right? And so I was going through this, trying to understand it. I watched this a little while ago, maybe a week ago, something like that. Been a little bit busy, so I haven't had much time to dedicate to these personal projects just because like work has been insane, lots of stuff to do at work, so I haven't been able to really like drill in on my personal projects recently. But I'm trying to, even though I'm tired right now, I'm trying to force myself at least an hour. So anyways, here is his code, and I am going to go to my uh, uh, oh man, I must be really tired. Visual Studio Code. There we go. If the words can come out of my mouth. And so I'm just gonna try to go and copy his code over and then look around at it. Today, I think it's gonna be just looking around, seeing what's going on, trying to refresh myself about what's up. And then maybe tomorrow we'll get a little bit more in depth. I don't really know. We're just playing around with things. So let's try to get it going. Okay, so let's see, new terminal. Also, I noticed, look at this. Like, welcome to Copilot. It's now built in to my actual IDE. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. So that I like that. I don't know how I'll use it or what its capabilities are, but I'm very interested to kind of play around with it. Anyways, let's where am I? Whoops. Okay, cool. I'm in the right directory. So I want to grab this. Da, 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 da. Okay. I want to clone it, right? And let's go. Git clone. All right, here we are. So we have our files right here. And let's start looking. I don't really know what I'm looking for, right? I watched the video a little while ago, like a week ago, but I've forgotten. Okay, API gateway, that's where we at. That is the intro. Okay, it's starting to come back to me. That was the entry point for where all of my requests are going to come in. So the client doesn't directly talk to each microservice. Okay, because that would mean I would need to authenticate myself, or the client would need to authenticate itself each time it made one request to any of the microservices. That doesn't make sense. It should only need to authenticate itself one time. So the the API gateway is kind of like a middleman. I remember that. Okay. So now, let's see, we can go into the source. So another thing that I'm noticing, he has all of these long, ridiculous source main Java, blah, 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 like 20 layers deep. So that must just be a Java thing. That just must be the way it is. Like source, main, Java, and then, yeah. Com, Telesco, API gate. See, he does the same thing, like blah 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 blah, blah like 20 layers deep. I'm used to Python where it's just one layer, right? Now all of a sudden it's just like 20 layers deep. Okay, and then the other thing that I was constantly getting into a problem with was these packages. I don't know why. Anyways, so this one also starts at the com level, right? So it just starts right there. Okay, cool, fine. So now let's see. This seems to be okay. So one thing that I'm noticing right now, wait, but it's not called main. So this is not. Wait, don't I need it to be called main? No, I don't. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right there. Right there. Okay, so the class does not need to be called main, but the function does. Interesting. Okay. I mean, obviously, if you look back at my older videos, I knew that. Like, I did it, I guess I could say, but I didn't know it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I didn't consciously, or maybe I did consciously do it, but re-epiphany. Okay, anyways. Okay, so we have our main. So each microservice is kind of its own entity. And I'm going to run it just like its own program. And so I think I need to run all three programs at the exact same time for it to work. Right? It's not one overarching thing that you do. Just run one overarching thing. Now you have to run all three individual components. Okay, so then this is just an individual component. So we have here, and I remember this was another question that I always had, is like, and I would always go to Copilot and ask it this question, and it would always give me an answer, but and I remember it was saying like, oh, well, that's Spring Boot's job, right? The question was, okay, well, I have this line right here, run. Okay, well, run what? Right? Like, run, go, do it. Do what? Do what? I don't know. Right? Like, how does it know that, okay, run, yeah, means I need to do something in this folder structure, right? Something in here. Run what? Okay. And I think what it was is Spring Boot will have something here. I need to scrounge around. Resources, test. Well, not, it wouldn't be test, right? I'm guessing that they're resources. Okay, well, what I was going to think is that, let me close this one and see the other one. Let's see question service. Okay, so source, main, Java. Here we go. This is more. So we have this one, and this one will say main right there. And then what I was thinking is like, okay, well, there's something in like service here, and you have this thing, this @ sign, the annotation, and this causes Spring Boot to automatically do this right here, or like inject it or something like that. And then by doing that, it will automatically run. I don't know, man. It's kind of confusing, honestly. Like, okay, so controller, question controller. All right, so the other thing that I'm noticing is he also has the controller and like the same kind of structure where you have this one, which is your main one, and then these folders on the same level, which are what? Which are like your gateways right here. And then all of your like logic here. And then something like that, right? So he's following a similar pattern, okay? REST controller, that's kind of what I'm used to. This auto wire, that was like the injection, right? Like it just creates this, and now this is not pointed to null, but it's pointed to an actual instance of this class. So I think that's what's going on, right? So I'm like getting an object right there. Okay. And then it comes from this package here. So that's how it knows what this class is. Okay. So yeah, here we have our mappings. So this is the actual API endpoints. Okay. All of these, okay. And this is for the question controller. So this is question service. Quiz service, service registry, okay. Let's see if I can run any of them. Let's see, so ls cd micro server, okay. I need to come in here, API gateway. Okay, and then maven w spring boot run. Oh, wait, it's like this, right? Okay, let's see if it does anything. Oh my goodness. Okay. Whoa. Calm down. Is it running? Are we good? Okay. So now I need to do this again. So see where I am. And then I need to run all 4 of them, right? Okay. CD question service. So no. It was the Apple Assistant. I don't want to say the name, but it was the Apple Assistant that was like something's up. Now what do I want to do? I want to do the exact same thing, right? Like I want to do This one. Ooh, okay, I don't like that. Failed to execute. Plugins, fatal error. No such field. Sun tools. Okay. I'm just gonna guess that like I don't have something installed. I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on a second. This requires a database as well, doesn't it? Okay, well, yeah, obviously it's not going to. I don't have a database. I remember in his thing he had a database. So let's just Control C this. So it. What? There we go. So it's not gonna work. Right now I need to set up some stuff with the database. But that's fine. Let's I'm just trying to look at the overarching structure. Yeah, so these 4 things. Let's figure out what's going on here. Main, Java, this one. Okay, this one has main, and then there's not a whole bunch of other files here either. So it's just running, and it seems like it's running nothing. Okay. So this one has all of them. The quiz service has all of them, and the question service has all of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, and I told you it was going to be a casual one, right? What I'm going to do now is, okay, cool, I kind of got, I just wanted the very high level. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and I'm going to rewatch that tutorial, right? I'm going to rewatch this one here and try to have now these new questions in my mind about, okay, well, where did I get stuck? What's going on? And like watch this video with those questions in mind. Does that make sense? So there's one thing of just like watching the video without having any context to it. I watched it one time, but I didn't think about the questions or the problems that I ran into this time. Now that I tried it myself, now that I actually put it onto my IDE, tried to do things, okay, well now, hold on. Let's see what's going on. I ran into some problems, now I'm going to rewatch it. That's kind of how I'm planning on doing this right now, so I will be logging off and possibly just watching some of those videos and seeing how he does it and what's up. So yeah, that's kind of the plan that I'm going for moving forward. Is I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of looking at how other people do code and how other people do projects, because otherwise I don't see how I can improve in terms of building an actual scalable, like correctly organized project. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe. That would be awesome. And I will make another video when I'm ready. All right. See you guys.